team. We're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I've come this way before, traveled through the open door, circumstances navigated the path, and life happened all so fast. No, they got lonely sometimes, you see, I know we couldn't make it, even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me, cause I know life took a hold on. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games to play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey. It's fight for millions, second, see the blessing in it. From much expected, much is given. Wanna make the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness, yes. You can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine up, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it through like, oh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm aces. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition. I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lacking. While cancer slowing our road, I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah,
give back, give love, give inside.
Equality where we lacking.
Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going soon and fight this final round. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, I'm your flow. Can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey. I'm gonna share all that I have and give to those in need.
Love is the word, JP, but we gonna call him JQ. G Brown, Robert Brown, what it do? Box fans, KJ, Birdman, Xavier, Rob G Film, Birdman, G Brown, love is the word, KJ, Don Juan D'Amaco, Birdman. What's up, KB? M Square, Phil, Signature, Mr. Blue, Supreme Tax, Mark West, T Bonafide, Signature Sounds, and it jumped on me. Who I got Victor and Cass. What's up? So we're gonna play the trailer real quick, man. I appreciate you guys coming in here, man. Do not forget, man, click the link that you guys see pinned in the comment section. And I appreciate you guys in advance. And
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
Appreciate y'all, man. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show, man. So check this out. So we got a guest coming in, man. Chante Carmel, and I learned so much about her, man. We've been friends for a long time, and she's an actress and a singer and everything, all inclusive. And come to find out, she was in a different world and knows Debbie Allen. So we gonna jump into all that, man. She's gonna be here for about a half an hour. And I was like, man, she sent me her bio, and I was like, damn, round of applause. We met in the boxing gym years back, and I did a quick short film with her, and but she'll be in any moment, man. But welcome to the show, y'all, man. I appreciate you. So we'll go heavy in the boxing after she leaves, but she's definitely a boxing fan because that's how we met in the boxing gym. And I was very impressed with her. So I know y'all gonna have tons of questions, and she was on The Lion King, and she did the traveling. She's a thespian. She can act, sing, and dance. Is that considered a thespian, a triple threat? Is that? I'm gonna ask her so I can get the correct definition of a thespian. You always say things how you pick up peripheral information and never use it. So so she's an extremely talented woman, and I'm excited to have her in here and share and have this great conversation. So hopefully everybody's good, man. We'll jump into the purse bid and Crawford and Porter and Al Heyman versus Bob Arum, and we'll go from there, man. Yeah. Kyle did his thing last night, huh? Kyle did his thing last night, man. What's up, Kyle? Man, totally appreciate you. Yep, like Lil Romeo, triple threat. Oh man, this is gonna be an interesting, man. Very, very interesting. You know what I mean? It's gonna be very, very interesting how this purse bid shakes out, man. And I don't have the answer, but I'm just going off of based off of my experiences with Bob Arum, how he moves, and based off of how Al Heyman and how the fighters speak about how they pay. And I'm just putting two and two together. You know what I mean? They both running the same. At the end of the day, they both running the same play, running the same goddamn play, you know. Al Heyman had the baton up until this point. Al Heyman was in charge of the welterweight division until this point. And for lack of a better term, he kept Bob Arum on the other side of the street. And it was celebrated, you know. Even I celebrated it, you know. And now Bob Arum has the one card that he had to play. You know what I mean? The one card, you know. It's kind of like it's kind of, well, I won't make that example, but the one card he had to disrupt Al Heyman's stampede through the welterweight division was Terrence Crawford. And now the in Bob Arum's voice, you know, the chickens have come home to roost, you know. So he gets to play in the sun right now. And he I think he wants Al Heyman to pay for this fight. I really do. I don't think Bob cares. I really don't believe he cares. It's but they still in 1964, Tone Brown. So we got time. You know what I mean? We got time. I mean, the man, wasn't that? I teared up at the end of that. Hey, Tone Brown, did you tear up at the end of this weekend's episode, the end of season 2? I teared up, man. And I took my kids to grab something to eat, and I was just full of emotion. And I was like, man, we lost a giant. Sheesh. We lost a giant. Sheesh, man. Man, I don't know how people can just take people who are advocating for the community, you know, and to find out that Malcolm X was telling the truth. Oh my gosh. Damn. You know, now in 2020, what's the 2021, we know Malcolm X was telling the absolute truth about Elijah Muhammad having underage girls, and man. Oh, you watching it right now? Oh my God. Oh, you watching it right now. So I don't want to ruin it for you. All right. I won't say nothing about it. But if I would suggest that you watch episode 10. It's powerful. Yes, it's September 1st, 9/1/21. Definitely. I would suggest, man, that last episode was good as hell. Whoever that was a well directed episode. I walked out the house like, it reminded me of that episode when JFK was not JFK, when Martin Luther King was killed on Good Times. That somber feeling, I think that was. It was that type of feeling. You know, it's powerful. Tone Brown, check back in at 10 o'clock. Call in after you watch. Call in. I'm very interested to hear what you got to say about that episode. Man, but yeah. Sheesh. It's tough. You know, doing all this research, I guess I'll filibust. I won't go knee deep into boxing until Chante comes in. Oh, there she is. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I was like, I'll filibuster, and then boop, you popped right in. How you doing?
Listen, got to be on time.
Yeah, no, I totally appreciate you. And I was bragging on you because I was reading your bio, and I said, God damn, you've done a lot.
No, I've been at it a minute, you know. Now what they say, I'm not new to this. I'm true to it.
Yeah, right. So a thespian would be someone who can act, sing, and dance.
That's kind of like a triple threat. Thespian, I think, is more used for somebody who is really keen on studying the actual art of theater, like Shakespeare and Moliere and things like that.
Okay.
But you know, I'm all. I have my degree in theater. I studied at Cambridge in England. Abroad. I'm all of those things.
Yeah. So how we met, guys, is we met at Westside Boxing Gym. We trained together for a couple of years, and we developed a friendship. And come to find out, we actually live in the same neighborhood at one point. You know, it's just been an extraordinary friendship throughout. But you just got off The Lion King. How was that?
It was amazing. Dream come true. You know, you look up and you find yourself in the #1 show in the world, and you're like, okay, here I am. I am. You know, it was a long time coming. It didn't happen overnight for me. Some people it does. It didn't for me. I felt like I worked really hard. That was actually in a 5-year stint. That was my 4th show in 5 years of Broadway shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's the process in getting to The Lion King?
A lot of so Lion King is a very traditional show. So you've got a singer ensemble, you've got a dance ensemble. So #1, it's training. The dancers in that show all come from Ailey. They all come from like the most elite dancer programs across the country, because it's very technical dancing in Lion King. And then the singers you meet are some of the strongest singer actors in the business. So, you know, people with extensive resumes who have done a lot of work, you know, television, film, trained a lot. So, you know, when you're in a show like that, you are asked to sing, dance, and act.
Is it so? You traveled all across America with the show, right?
America and Canada, yeah.
So it toured for a whole year, correct? Or how long was it?
So Lion King hasn't stopped touring for like 20 years. That tour continues. Probably the longest break Lion King has ever taken on tour was COVID.
Wow.
That show had been running on tour since maybe 1998 or something like that. They've been touring.
Wow.
There were some people in that show who had been with the show for 20 years, 15 years. Right.
Wow.
Right. Like Lion King keeps people, you're there for a long time. You can be there for a long time.
What was the highlight of it?
Pretty much when you're a young black woman actress, and you see a show and you're like, yeah, I want to be Nala in the Lion King, and I got to do that.
Oh, that was a dream role for you, as you just mentioned.
Nala and Sarabi, the
Wow.
queen. So I got to play both of them. I'm not at the same time. I was Sarabi every day, and then I also understudied 2 principal tracks, which were the lead girl hyena and Nala. So I'd be on for Nala one day, on for the hyena one day, but mostly I was the queen.
Yeah. I remember your stories and you doing pre-makeup and post-makeup and all when I followed you on Instagram. But you also said it started a long time ago with Debbie Allen
So Debbie Allen gave me my first television show. I had done a movie called Different Worlds, not a different world, but Different Worlds with Dwayne Martin. It was like an CBS after school special when I was like maybe 11. And then Debbie Allen kind of discovered me when I was about 12 and put me on A Different World. I was reoccurring on A Different World as a kid. Yeah.
That blew my mind when I read your bio. And by the way, I'm putting her website up. Did you know? I mean, you're 12 years old. Did you know how transcending that show was?
I could, how you could feel it? Because now mind you, by the time I got to the show, you have the new cast. You have Jada Pinkett, you have Bumper Robinson, you have that new generation. So I'm there with Jada, and she's a whole vibe, it's a whole energy. She had those long braids that like curl up her head. She was just a trendsetter even then. So you could feel it when you stepped onto that set that there were, Jasmine Guy in her prime. She's still in her prime. She's still amazing. I love Jasmine Guy. But those women, they command a room. So you can feel you're a part of something special. But I think the kid in me kind of didn't know. I was actually on most of the episodes with this singing group. I think you might be too young to know who they are. This singing group, Immature. And they were really hot at the time. Marcus Houston, who they all went on to be mega superstars.
Yeah.
So you could feel it. You could feel the talent in the room. And when you stepped onto that set, and it was all business, but it was also all love. And it was such a unique experience. Only later in life, when I grew up, and you see, the legacy of Black colleges, the legacy of, being in a school where there are Black teachers and really understanding what that meant, representation, having that you don't know then, but boy, do we know now how important that show was.
Right. And you mentioned Debbie Allen discovered you and put you in your first role, and then ultimately you go to the sitcom A Different World. Talk about the relationship and how impactful was Debbie Allen?
Well, for me, it's like, so I have one more moment in my life that's definitive. It's like Debbie Allen put me on A Different World, and then Barry Gordy putting me in Motown. So I'm up at his.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said that's when I met you, when you got us off Motown.
Right. So I'm up in Bel Air at his estate, and I'm auditioning in front of him, and I'm singing. And at the end of the audition, he looks at me and he goes, "Okay, you won." And it's just those moments that you will never forget in life, and it's just pivotal. For me with Debbie, it was really like, yeah, this is what I want to do with my life. Like I loved it so much. I loved being on set so much. Learning lines came so easy to me, performing. And, with Debbie being a dancer, a singer, she's really big in the musical theater, all of that, you as a young girl, you look at that and you go, yeah, that's what I want. That's the work that I want to do.
Did you know who Debbie Allen was, or did your mom tell you? Like, I know you understand who she is, but at 10, 11, 12 years old, did you grasp the magnitude of basically she's like the first lady of Black America at the time, her and Felicia Rashad? No?
No,
Wow.
no, I did not the magnitude. If you're real, I mean, like I knew who she was, but the magnitude of what she had done, what her and Felicia, what her and her sister had done,
Mhm.
the barriers they broke down. But everybody knows Debbie Allen from fame. So I knew who she was, and I understood, how iconic she was then, because fame.
Yeah, I'm gonna live forever.
If you're a young kid, if you're a young kid and you're watching Fame and you sing and you dance and you act like Debbie Allen is everything,
Uh-huh.
So, but I didn't know, all the work she had done prior to being on Fame. I knew her. I just like, that's Fame. That's what I want. You want Fame? Fame costs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And now she's a professor or a dean at Howard.
that's Felicia.
Felicia
That's
Rashad
Felicia Rashad. She's the
dean at
dean.
Howard.
Debbie owns an amazing dance studio right in our neighborhood, right in Lamar Park.
Yeah.
She owns Dada, and she really pours into kids on a regular basis. Scholarships, dance, work ethic. Like her whole platform to me is doing the work and your work ethic and what you're bringing to the table. Even she's starting the kids learning that very young.
Yeah, I'm considering taking Kennedy there. I'm not sure which studio I'm going to send her to, but we're in the midst of that now.
Yeah, I mean, you've got two amazing dance studios right there. You got Little Washington and you've got Dada.
Yeah.
So it'll be just kind of like wherever you see. Your daughters are beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Your kids are gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh, that's love.
Yeah.
That's love. And when I do the Pan African Film Festival, I see I've seen Beyonce pull up and all that at Debbie Allen's. Yeah, because she pulls up in a big black truck.
Right.
And I've seen her because her daughter goes there or went there. I'm not sure if she's still there, but her daughter went there, and I've seen them get out of the truck and stuff like that. And I'm so that dance studio is definitely a pillar in the community. Is
pillar for sure.
For real. So you mentioned, before we get into property and all that stuff, you mentioned Barry Gordy, dog.
Listen. There are moments in your life where you like, are you woman enough? You gonna man up in this moment, or what you gonna do? And walking into Barry Gordy's estate, and it's just an accompanist, his assistant, and him, and he says, "Okay, go." It can be extremely intimidating. But he was also like what I appreciated most about Mr. Gordy, how he kept all of his hands into Motown. He would come out to the tour, and he'd always constantly be changing and tweaking the show and just keeping it alive and keeping it as fresh as he could, all the time, which is commendable with everything that he's got to do in his world.
Yeah.
But he definitely, I will say, at the age I was at, he definitely, and what I was doing, he changed my life.
Really?
Oh, man. That was my break. From there, like every year, I've always dreamed about being on Broadway. I was on Broadway. I made it to Broadway with a Motown musical. I played Martha Reeves in Motown musical on Broadway. And that's a game changer. That was my dream come true. That I had, since I'm 12 years old, 11 years old, took my first singing tour at 8 as a featured soloist with the Crenshaw High School Elite Choir. You have a dream, don't judge me. My favorite movie is The Sound of Music. So I'm watching Julie Andrews growing up going, that's what I want. This is, the path that I want. And so you dream from a little kid, Broadway. And he made that dream come true.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm forever grateful for Mr. Gordy.
And he's still, how old is he now? 91, 92? How old is he?
Yeah, right about there. He's vegan. And he dances. Yeah, he's super fit. He's dope.
Really?
Yeah, he's real health conscious.
Have you ever told him thank you? Have you ever told him like how the defining moment in?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and not only that, anytime I'm on, like a dope show like yours. Thank you so much for having me, by the way. I'm so humbled.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh,
Barry Gordy's living room to the barbershop. Yeah.
listen, yeah, 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 and that's great. That's that. I mean, look, you have an amazing platform,
Uh-huh.
perspective. You're standing in your truth
Yeah.
always,
Thank you.
even when it's hard to say.
Yeah.
You're not mincing words, and that's dope. And you're a finisher. I just got to see your short, which
Uh-huh.
it was so great. And you stood up there and you talked about how important it was to finish, how
Mhm.
hard it is to finish, and the amount of work that goes into finishing,
Yes.
and how hard that is. Because people start projects all the time.
Right.
All the time. I'm in the middle of a project that I need to finish.
Yeah. The book.
I want to finish this book, that I need to finish. So when I see you and I see your finished product, and I'm like, Chante, finish. That's inspiring to me. And I keep people like you close,
Uh-huh.
because I'm watching. I'm watching how you move. I'm watching how you complete. I'm watching how you don't give up. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm constantly learning.
Mm,
Uh,
I
so,
appreciate
mhm,
I genuinely appreciate that, because the reason why I asked is because I never got a chance to tell my grandfather thank you. You get what I'm
mhm,
saying? Like, he is the most impactful man I've ever had in my life.
right.
And from like a non-family member, it's Malcolm X. So I never had a chance to tell people like that, man, you have no idea how you impacted my life. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? I had my 7th grade teacher, Mr. Early, and now he and I confide in one another. But I wish I could have had that conversation with my grandfather, and that's why I asked you to speak about that profound moment with you and Barry Gordy, and how amazing, and how he took your career basically to a whole nother level.
Whole nother level. Dreams came true.
Mm.
Can you imagine dreaming a dream for
Wow.
30 plus years?
Uh-huh.
Most people give up.
Yeah.
Most people can't keep dreaming for that long. A lot of people give up.
Why
I
did
almost
you
gave up.
why did you give up?
I almost did. I did for a while. I did. I said, all right, maybe this is not my ministry.
Mm.
But someone found me, forced me to start singing again. Like I was like really anti karaoke. I'm a real singer. I don't need karaoke.
Right.
And I had stopped singing for a couple of years. Like I was like, I'm not dope. I stopped singing for a couple of years. I had like a pretty traumatic experience, and I was just like, I'm just gonna do this fitness thing. I got certified as a trainer. I was working in gyms. That was like what I was doing. And he kept calling me back, calling me back. And then one day I met a friend of mine, Anthony Hill. He's a showrunner for a bunch of shows right now, Raven's Home.
Mm-hmm.
And he invited me down to this karaoke in the valley where singers go. And I'm there and I'm like, okay, everybody's singing. But he's like, just go. You don't have to sing good. Because he didn't know me. He's
Uh-huh.
like, just go up there and sing. Like, this, whatever. We're just here to have fun. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like I went a couple of times, and then finally he got me up there singing. And I was like, all right, cool. And so I sang giving him something he could feel first
Oh, that was my favorite song as a
in
kid.
Vogue. And I get down off the stage and he said, you can sing. And I was like, well, I'm a little out of practice, but I used to, and then I just kept coming back,
Uh-huh.
having fun with singing again, having fun with music again, and finding my love for it again. And
Mm.
then once, and then he started pushing me out to do open mics. So now I'm hitting every open mic in LA
Mm-hmm.
singing.
And
And yeah. And then
yeah,
all the stars ended up aligning.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I have a similar story of how I found out that you knew how to sing. I mean,
Oh,
obviously I knew, but I don't put two and two together, because we're just hitting a heavy bag and talking a lot of smack to one another in the
yeah,
gym.
you're good at that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and when I recorded us, when I walked in the gym and Biz Markie came on, Oh baby, you remember you was on the Stairmaster? You don't remember. You probably don't remember the moment, but yeah. And then then I was taking my camera. I have it on my Instagram. And you were singing. I said, "Oh, she could sing." Like yeah. Truest story. So
right.
yes. So not only have you parlayed like from Debbie Allen to Barry Gordy. Imagine putting that on the resume. Barry Gordy to Debbie Allen. God damn.
Right.
Yeah, that's like who was that? Like there's no parallel to that. Like you know what I mean? Like that's insane. That's literally insane. You've parlayed that. Now you're a landlord.
Yes. So paying homage to my grandfather, who started this beautiful real estate legacy.
Yeah, your family does great. Yeah.
So he started buying property. And when all his sons and his daughter were of age, forced all of them to buy property, duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes. And that became the family business. My grandfather didn't even have a high school education. He died of it. A little Southern boy out of Arkansas, 17 brothers and sisters. He military, all the boys went to the military. They served in the war. All of them were veterans. Came home and, they really stood by that. Owning land is freedom. Owning land. So they bought as much property in Los Angeles as possible. So my family owns quite a bit of property in LA. And when I got to a point where I had worked and could work and to afford my first duplex, I bought from my family. I bought my dad's duplex for my dad. I now own a single family home as well. So, and I'm part of LLC.
Yeah.
I'm a 1/8 owner in 2 5 units.
Yeah.
So 10 more units up in Baldwin Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the way to go. Me and my partners have done that too, partner up and stuff like that, because it makes it easier, because you literally want to get as much as you can.
Yeah.
And I want to compliment you and your family, because my grandfather did the same thing your grandfather did. Yeah. And my mom, my grandfather's kids said, "You know what? I don't like you. I don't like you." And they sold the properties.
Oh, we've been close.
Yeah, they sold.
We've been close, but we have one uncle who's like, "We're never gonna let you guys do it. We don't care. Y'all could go this way, that way. This is gonna be right here for y'all when y'all turn 70."
Yeah, it was because we went back. I took my mom back the last week of July, first week of August. The last week of July, because the screening was August 1st. And it was just so sobering to realize, like, that parcel of land was so big and we could have done so much. And I yelled at my mom. I said, "Y'all couldn't hold on for 10 years. I said, "I can't believe y'all egos are so big that you couldn't hold on for 10 years. And it just makes no sense, man. So and actually the video on it, if you guys heard it on the channel, but I encourage everybody, man, keep your grandfather's legacy alive, and obviously you've done that, and I give you a tremendous applause and salute, because
it goes even further. My dad and his brothers and sisters own about 240 acres of land in Arkansas, and they have not let it go. They used to do timber. They own about 240 acres of just straight timbered land out there.
Yeah.
They did that, man.
Yeah, it's so important. What's been your challenges as a landlord?
I was at my tenant's house today.
I know. Yeah, that's when we spoke. That's when we spoke today.
My tenant's house today. I think challenges sometimes are when when tenants feel like you're not doing everything.
Yeah.
For them. Sometimes there's a little bit of seed of ungratefulness. Like, there are things that aren't in the landlord handbook that you don't have to cover, that you don't have to do. But if you have a landlord who steps outside and gets those things taken care of, steps outside and goes the extra mile, brings, things that, look, what's in the lease agreement? Pay your rent. If it's in the house, I'll take care of it. Outside of the house, I don't have no worries. Today my tenant, she's like, the grass doesn't look healthy enough. Your gardener is doing a poor job. Because essentially she had like cussed out my gardener, and I was like, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. I get those a lot too. He's not cutting it good enough. I'm like, oh.
Right. I said, but talk to me. I'll talk back.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah, I said, you're not paying my gardeners. They're very nice people. If you feel like something's off, I'll come and cut down trees.
Right.
Break up leaves, because that's the school I come from. My grandfather was very hands-on. Like, if there's something that you feel like is a little off, you need a little bit better, call me. I'll try to help out. I said, but she's like, well, the grass is just not even green enough. And I'm like, ma'am, it is August in LA.
It's hot as hell. Yeah.
It is so hot. Yeah, if you think I'm fixing to pour hundreds of tons of water while we stay in a drought onto this grass, I said, no.
Mm-hmm.
And I paid a water bill on that building. So
yeah,
it's really not happening.
It's crazy. What's up, Deacon Chante? Welcome to the shop, Queen. You gotta welcome.
Hi, what up, man?
And so it's funny because this weekend one of my tenants called me, and she's a Section 8 tenant, and
mine as well.
Yeah, and her son lives in the unit. He's not supposed to live there, right? But he lived there, right? And so she called me and says her flapper on her toilet is not working.
Mm-hmm.
And I says, does your son live there?
Mm.
I says, why are you calling me?
Wow. Oh, see?
I was like, because the unit is off of Western and Century, right? So I says, you can go to Home Depot for $5. Go cut the water off at the bottom, go to Home Depot, and when you get back, if y'all don't know how to do it, go to YouTube and fix it. Because because at the end of the day, because that's gonna be something else later. You know what I mean? If I would have went over there and fixed the toilet and spent a minute and a half and fixed that toilet, it would have been something else later. So I said, no, you're gonna fix that toilet, because I'm not going to do it. I'm genuinely not going to do it. That man in that house needs to learn how to fix a toilet.
Listen, see, and this is where I got to get a little bit tougher, because I'm fixing toilet flappers. I'm like, I go the extra mile. Oh, you have a tree that's right outside your house that's attracting bees? Don't worry, I'll come cut it down for you.
Nah.
And it wasn't even a tree. It was like a weed. You can't pull this weed out by yourself, even though there are bees surrounding your front door. You're going to wait for me to do it?
Yeah.
So it's just little stuff like that. I think one of my tenants was like, she sent me pictures of mosquito bites. Now, look, the mosquitoes are crazy here everywhere. So she goes outside in the backyard, gets bit by mosquitoes. She shows me the bites. You need to come spray. You need to go inside.
Yeah.
They put those type of things, but I see what you mean. One thing leads to another, and then it spirals. And I'm like, I had to tell her today. She goes, well, I guess this is your building. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. It is mine.
Yeah. The trick with the things, the what you call it stuff, I leave a spray bottle on most properties because it gets hot in the summertime. So a big gallon of spray with I leave that on the property. And I said, when because it gets hot, y'all gonna spill sugar, Kool-Aid, water. Y'all may barbecue when you have family over, and that sugar is gonna stay on the ground. So they get a spray. I keep the spray on the property, and they're responsible for spraying, because they're gonna spill the sugar, and the ants gonna come, and you get the water bugs at night. You know what I mean? If you pass through an alley, you may get a rat running through or something like that. So
listen, they've had all of that, and here I come with the Orkin man. I got Orkin coming. One month, I must have had Orkin come out 5 times in 1 month.
Oh, no, we ain't doing that.
I'm like, if you have a mouse, you're gonna wait for me to come over and fix it? You better go get a mousetrap.
Yeah, when you attach to when you got multiple tenants, man, you can always blame the rats on having multiple units. That's what I mean, because that's just the reality. Because everybody lives different, you know, and that's just, you know, and you know what I done? That's done. I won't fix nothing minor until there's something else wrong with the property. So I said, you gotta wait. You gotta wait like 30 days. I'm not fixing that closet door. No, I'm gonna get it done, but I'm gonna wait because I gotta pay the man to come there. So you're not disrupting my day for.
Now I will tell you this: that toilet flapper. The only reason why I would say step in and fix that
The
is
water
because if they don't, that water bill.
Yeah, the water bill.
Yeah.
Water bill.
And I just had that on another property of mine. That water bill came, and I was like, "Oh Lord."
That COVID, didn't that COVID impact your water greatly?
No.
It didn't. Oh my! I thought I had a leak. I'm like, I thought I had a leak. I said, what the hell was going on? And then so I didn't know until I got the second water bill. I didn't put 2 and 2 together, right? So May I get a water bill, or June I get a water bill of last year, and I'm like, hold up, is there a pipe leaking inside the building? And I'm like, and then
everybody just at home.
Yeah, everybody's home. They flush the toilet 100 times a day.
I will tell you this: what did impact it is at one point, December 2020, November, December, January 2021, right in there. No people were working to read the meters because of COVID. So they just gave people generic roundabout water bills.
Yeah.
And then they hit you with the difference. They went and read those meters for real and hit you with the difference like in March. And I said, well, oh, well, no one was working during COVID. And I was like, how's that my problem?
Right.
I said, listen, if you didn't need to read the meter when it was time, I feel like that's in the past.
Right.
But that's how it really it impacted me, because I was like, that's not cool. But
how about the freedom it's allowed you, like the financial freedom for you and your dad and your mom?
Man, I honestly would not have survived COVID, because I've been unemployed since March of 2020. If I didn't have my rental properties, I would have never survived. Yeah, because I was able to subsidize my income with my, God bless them, with my Section 8 tenants, because they check come every, clockwork.
Wasn't Section 8 beautiful during COVID?
Listen, not a care about it. I mean, that's that saved me. So so with that, I take the good with the bad. That's why I think I kind of come in and I cater, and I'm like, I want to make sure everybody's comfortable. But yeah, it's having that type of financial backing, because I can't call it financial freedom yet for me, but just that thing that's back there, to kind of stack and whatever. It's been great. Real estate is great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you mentioned you've been unemployed since March. What's next? You've been going on. Did you just book something today? Can you announce it?
Yeah, I just booked something actually here in LA. So I'll be working. I go back into the theater in October.
Yes, LA. I get to see you. LA.
Yeah, it's a show. It's gonna be at the Amundsen. Yeah, we'll be here. So I'm so super excited. I can't say what it is. I got to sign my contracts first, but
okay.
But yeah, I'm back to work. I'm finally back to work, which is just such a blessing.
And when do y'all open?
We'll open beginning of November.
Beginning of November.
Yeah, beginning of November.
So you go right into rehearsals next week?
October, beginning of October. So in a month, I'll go into rehearsals.
Damn, y'all can get it down that quick? In 30 days?
Oh, what? I show down in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah,
It seems like a lot. It seems like a lot. What's your favorite Broadway musical?
Oh, The Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera. I fell asleep on that. I saw that in Vegas. I fell asleep on it.
No, The Phantom of the Opera was, I think, Phantom, A Chorus Line. Those were the first 2 shows I ever saw live. But Phantom, what they create on that stage, with the chandelier crashing and the tunnels and the canals and the voices. I think I'm always taken aback by those voices. That the operatic voice. You
Yeah.
know, it's I don't know. Yeah, that Phantom of the Opera will be it for me. I mean, I have shows that come a close second.
Mhm.
I really love Wicked. I love Lion King. I always love the Lion King. It's hands down one of the best shows ever done, ever. And I
Mm.
love Motown. Motown for me was it. I think I loved Motown so much is because when my parents came to that show,
Oh my God.
boy, oh boy, you could see them go through time. My parents have been married for 45 years. It almost transported them back into time to when they met, when they were falling in love, growing up. It was such a beautiful thing to watch.
Wow.
Them just enjoy a show. Because
Mm.
everybody doesn't like musical theater. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But Motown, what they did with Motown and my parents they just lived. They lived their best lives.
I'm disappointed I didn't see that, but I did see the Temptations.
Yo, I heard that show is dope too.
Whoo! I saw it in New York. Actually, I actually saw it the same night Oprah. She was 2 rows behind me. I saw it with Oprah that day. Yeah, and I saw it with Sam Watson, and it was an incredible.
Yeah, a bunch of the Motown people went into the Temptations show. It was like a nice little natural progression.
And the new hot one,
Hamilton.
What did you think of that?
I love Hamilton.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
It's an extraordinary show. I mean,
I caught all of that stuff.
those kids are
believe-
working so hard.
Dude, I caught all. I couldn't believe how hip hop could tell a story like that. Like it was extraordinary.
Yeah, and they don't change clothes if you notice.
I didn't know.
Nobody changes clothes, and the ensemble never leaves the stage.
The ensemble what?
Never leaves the stage.
Oh.
They might go off and come right back, but they are working the entire show.
Wow.
Yeah. So and that's a lot of the reason why when they all take that final bow, they take it as a full company. Because everybody is working so hard in that show. Yeah, that's an extraordinary show.
I can't wait to see you because I was out of town. I think you were here in August of 19. Was it? You were here
with a show called Waitress, the Sarah Bareilles show.
You were here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that. I had it on my calendar coincidentally. Yep. And I was out of town I was out of town when you were here. And so
right. I was only here in that show for 1 week with that show because Lion King stole me. So I literally left Waitress on a Sunday and flew to Lion King that Monday.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Felt good to say, well, I'm leaving, guys.
Yeah, it was like, okay, well, this has been great. Thanks so much.
I totally can't wait. I can't wait November. I'm gonna try and get there opening night.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah. So when the tickets go on sale, let me know. Give me 2 tickets if you can, and I want to buy them. So I don't want nothing free. But just I would have loved to go opening night. Yeah, for sure.
I said
no, that would be extraordinary.
Yeah.
Dude, I read your bio, right? And it's funny. I was telling I just didn't know how accomplished you were, and that's and one that's flattering because you don't talk about it. But then on the other hand, you should be like, hey, listen, hold up, like I'm really that. I'm really her.
People tell me I'm such. I tell you should be more confident. You should read. I'm like. Yeah, man. I feel like I've lived 7 lives. I had a singing group. We had a record deal at one point. We penned a couple of songs for movies, which was really cool. That was a really cool experience. Working in a group, performing live, nightclubs, studios till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
That's another life.
Right. Do you want to write a play? Produce a play, direct a play, movie?
I wrote a television show, me and 2 of my amazing friends. who are also actresses. Shouts out to Freddie and Carla. Yeah, we're actually shopping right now.
How's that process?
It's really difficult.
Isn't it difficult? Isn't it difficult? Yeah, some people reached out for the short film already, and I was like, nah, because I want to show proof of concept. You know what I mean? Like I want to sell 25,000 units, 50,000 units. You get what I'm saying? And I'm hoping that my platform can do that. But it is such a competitive field to get your stuff on a network,
right?
On a major.
And you really have to just take into consideration. I don't get discouraged because I'm not a writer by trade. So if I can get a foot in the door, I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, because there are people who that's all they do.
Right.
That's all they study. That's what they went to school for. And you're competing against them, you know, and they turn out those scripts so quickly, and their concepts, and they've been building the concept for years, and down to every detail, all the details that we didn't even know we needed to have, you know, putting a show together. So hopefully, you know, I get the right people in place to help our show come to fruition as well.
Is there a role you would want moving forward? Like, is there, I mean, obviously if you speak it into existence, it happens. So
my next goal is to be a part of something where I'm originating a character, whether it's Broadway or television.
You're originating the character?
Well, it doesn't work. You're always originating a character on television. But like, so in Lion King, I wasn't the first to play Sarabi. There were many Sarabis that came before.
Got you.
You know, so either I want to be on television where I'm playing a role that obviously only I can play, or to be at the very beginning of a new Broadway show and help bring that character to life, bring that person to life, with working with the creative team. So I'm the first person who said Split as, you know, I'll use an example, you know, Lin-Manuel Miranda is Hamilton. He was the first person to do Hamilton. He's you know. So.
You may have to write it.
Well, yeah, I did. I did. So fingers crossed.
What's your favorite TV show? So I can get an idea.
Ooh, that's a hard one. Right now.
You can name a couple.
I mean, right now or all?
Yeah, right now, so we can keep the audience engaged.
Oh,
right?
Grey's Anatomy. I'm a huge Grey's Anatomy fan.
Grey's Anatomy. Okay.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite. I am Grey's Anatomy. I'm actually a doctor because I've never missed an episode. So.
Yeah. TB was talking about God. Have you seen Godfather Harlem? Have you seen that?
No, but my husband was telling me about it and kicking me like, "Oh, you should totally be." He said it's really good.
It's good. It's a timepiece. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, it has Malcolm X in it, so that's why I'm pretty much attached to it. What's your favorite documentary?
Well, probably the last one Ava DuVernay did.
13th Street.
Thank you. Yeah.
13. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's so good. You know, I even listened to like her behind the scenes of really making it and all the footage that she had to go through. You have a similar story. You have of just really having to do that work and dig and talk to people and interview people and the amount of work that goes into that. Yeah.
I wish people understand the work that I had to do. And you know what happened today? You know, speaking of work today, I actually got Malcolm X Killer's phone number today. He's alive. He's 81 years old. He got out of jail in 2010. He did like 44 years. I actually got his phone number today.
What?
Yes, he lives in Brooklyn. So I will be calling him tomorrow. So it took time to get to this place. Like, you know, it's the most amazing story. Like, so I don't know how this little guy in this little room has been able to get all of this information. Like, I got birth certificates. That's why I'm so confident in what I say. You know what I mean? Like it's just insane, man. The amount of work that I've done, and it's funny how much like you. So, for example, like I read your bio. That's why you got to sometimes tell people what you're actually doing, like what's your like, and stay in your purpose. Like for the last 6-7 months, I've really stayed in this space, right?
Mhm.
And shit, probably longer now. This is month 9. Yeah, it's probably about 9 months, right? And as I'm walking through it, matriculating through this process, everything that's not on this project has bounced off, right? Has bounced off of me. Like it's died. But when I tell people what I'm doing, they help. You understand? Like
Mhm.
from so much information that people, so many people have different walks of life that's been able to help me, and getting contacts after contacts after contacts. It's amazing. So
It
it's
also helps with accountability. You know, like with the project that I'm writing, I have a lot of people who are holding me because they know that I'm doing it. They're holding me accountable. Did you finish? Where are you in this process? You know, so because don't talk about it, be about it. Like I'm
right.
like, so no, I don't talk a lot about some of the things that I'm doing because I'm like, let me do it first, and then I'll tell you that I got it. Let me get it done, and then I'll tell you this is what I did.
Right.
But,
Right.
I think Outcast says it's why I don't put too much on the things that I've done. He said you're only as funky as what you last hit.
Yeah,
Or so if it was something I did 20 years ago, 15 years ago, then I'm like, what am I doing today? These are the things that matter. How am I making an impact today? What am I doing, now? So I try to stay in that mindset. It keeps me pushing forward, and hopefully it keeps me humble.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you want to do an album, by the way?
Nope.
No desire to do an album.
Nope. I've done an album.
The amount of work, right?
I've done albums.
Work.
Listen, mad props to artists, people who really have that gift. Sometimes you have to stay in your lane. Find your lane. I found my niche with musical theater.
Right.
Right. Stay right on in that. I can do film, television. This musical theater lane seems like it really suits me, and I'm able to do well in it and keep working.
Extraordinary job. Debbie Allen to Barry Gordy. Yeah, he's like one of my dream interviews, Barry Gordy. Like for real. Like I would love to like sit down with him and I don't know if I would be able to ask a question, but because I think his stories would go an hour. Like just thinking of me as a kid, like he's looked the same with that silver beard for years to me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And before you tell us what's like the momentous moment in terms of perseverance, like the toughest thing that you've tackled and you've looked back and says, I did that.
I can tell you, I have a great story. So I'm standing in the grocery store, particularly tough financial time for me before Broadway, before whatever. And I'm standing in the grocery store and I look at it and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some things. I've got this amount of money left on my credit card. It might have been, we'll say it's $74.52. My groceries came to 75. So my card declines. But I'm like, oh, I'll just take one thing off, run it again, and that should be it. But no, they cut my credit card off right there in the grocery store. I have them on the phone. I'm calling. I'm like, can you please release the funds so I can have, food, whatever. It got so bad and it took so long. The guy checking me out of the groceries, puts the groceries into the bag. He's just there. He can't be making more than minimum wage. He looks at me and he's like, ma'am, do you want me to pay for your groceries? Because I didn't have a lot. And I just looked at him and I was like, I'm crying. I'm like, no, no, right? So I finally get them. They turn my card on. I get my little groceries. I get out of there. And, I just get in the car and I say, God, I don't know why you have me here in this moment. Whatever lesson, I'm going to try to learn this lesson, why I need to be here. How did I get here? But I'm going to stay true. I'm going to stay faithful. I'm going to continue to lean on you because I know there's a reason you have me here and I'm going to keep pushing through. And I feel like 6 months later, maybe less than 6 months later, I was on Motown. Making 6 figures. couldn't afford groceries.
Yeah, right.
You know, so, you know, because I had said, I'm going to I'm going to go to I'm going to just work a minimum wage job, front desk, nothing that needs me, because I wanted to start auditioning again. And I didn't
Right.
want to be tied. I was running LA Fitness for a couple of years as a training general manager, and I loved it. You know, high sales job, really good money, but they needed me all the time.
Mhm.
That's not one of those jobs you can kind of duck out and go to an audition and then come back and nobody, or you know, flake like, oh, I worked the front desk, somebody else take my shift. It's not that kind of a job. You know, you have to be 100% present, and you have people under you.
Mhm.
So it was just taking that leap of, maybe I'm only making $1,000 a month. I'm gonna figure out a way to make that work until my time comes, because I want it back into the business, and then my time came. Yeah.
How do you talk to God? Do you hold God accountable for his promise, or do you talk to him as if you got to do all the work? I'm curious.
I don't know if it's I don't know if accountability is with God. It's like, for me, it's trusting. It's just trust, you know. And I think we're all a work in progress when it comes to trusting, especially when it comes to trusting other people. But
Right.
with me, it's like really just affirming, I trust you, God, I trust you. There's a reason why I'm here right now. There's a reason why I didn't book that job, and really believing in that. Really believing, like, there's a reason why I didn't just book this Broadway job across, that I just flew to New York and auditioned for. There's a reason why I'm not supposed to be there. There's a reason why this flight didn't take off on time. There's a reason why, and I'm trusting you, and that's, you know, really the mantra. I trust you. There's a reason why I may not know now, but I know you're going to reveal yourself. It's going to all reveal itself. And when I tell you time and time again, it has, I'm just like, I can't deny it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And you've
Yeah.
flown cross country. I know you keep on adding. You've flown cross country for interviews, right? Because obviously you got to go to Broadway multiple times, right?
I was just there 2 weeks ago,
Really?
3 weeks ago, just in New York. Had to fly myself out, put myself up.
Uh,
Wait a second. Didn't we figure out during COVID that we can do this over Zoom?
uh,
Why do I have to fly across the country? I said, why aren't we using the Zoom feature?
Oh man.
I mean, I listen, yeah, but you got to get there. You know,
Get there.
sometimes a lot of musical theater is a vibe. It's rehearsing you in the room. It's working with the people who you're going to be working with. You know, that whole creative team being there and really being able to hear your voice
Mhm.
live and in person. So,
Uh-huh.
you know, I get it.
How do you pick yourself up from that no?
Trust God.
Trust God, right?
Yeah, trust
Mm.
God. There's a reason why. It wasn't for me. Really believe in that. It wasn't for me. And I've probably done 150 auditions in these last 18 months. And of those 150, I've booked 3.
150 auditions? Your perseverance is crazy.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Whew!
Can't stop, won't
150
stop.
auditions?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. A lot of auditions.
3 would be, that's less than 3%. That is over 1. So it's somewhere between 1 and 2%. Wow.
And yet, and still, I have friends that look at me and go, "Gosh, Chante, you are always working. You are always booked." Because I have friends who do those same 150 auditions and book 0.
Mm,
You know,
mm.
I'm up against some of them.
Yeah.
Same audition, same role. You know, and they watch me get it, and they don't. And that's hard. You know, but
Mm,
yeah, everybody, you gotta have some cojones to be in this business, because it's a lot of no.
mm.
It's a lot more no than it is yes, until you get to that level where you know you're kind of calling your own shots.
1.7. Rob G Film just did the math. 1.7.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
1.7 success rate.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is insane.
Thank God, you guys make it sound terrible.
No, I'm making it sound, no, I'm doing it from the other perspective. Like wow, like imagine not getting 30 in a row. You
Yeah,
get what I'm saying? Like, hold up. Gas, time.
yeah. You start to get a little defeated. You
Yeah,
know,
you get what
a
I'm
little
saying?
bit of doubt keeps saying you start to get a little defeated. I will tell you, being able to do them at home and not have to use gas, has definitely saved my heart because I'm like, well, I don't really have to go anywhere.
Yeah. You got a special request.
Oh,
Can she do a monologue?
a monologue. Gosh, that's always a hard one. Do we have time for a monologue?
It's up. I mean, it's up to you. No. Okay, no, we don't have time for a monologue.
A monologue.
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah.
Who do you? Okay, we'll wind down now. I kept you longer than I said I was going to keep you. I'm sorry.
No, this is great. I love this. My favorite thing.
Okay, thank you. Who
We can talk forever.
now that you're mature, successful, who do you see now as like, wow, he or she's amazing?
Oof, that's a lot. That girl Viola, man. Or in my personal life, or in the industry.
Do both.
My mom.
Your mom. Yeah, your
My
mom.
mom has this crazy quiet strength, and when I tell you, she takes everything.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Mommy, we are not the same.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she takes everything, and my mother does not drink, she does not smoke, she does not cuss.
Uh-huh. Your mom don't curse, huh?
You said what?
Your mom doesn't curse, huh? Wow.
No.
Wow.
Oh, and hates it if I do it. She's
Really?
like, oh, Chante. Yeah, she doesn't swear. She's really God-fearing, like goes to church 3-4 times a week. Yeah, but my mom, when I watch her, I'm like, wow, you have made it through some stuff. Her strength, hands down. I'm like, you're probably the strongest person I know. Because she does it and she's still kind. You know, she's still nice and kind and giving and loving and continues to give and love, even when she's not even being appreciated the way I think, she should be appreciated.
Right.
In life, she still is like, no, I'm gonna do it anyway. No, I'm gonna continue to give. And I'm like, that when I look at that, I'm like, I want to be that. I hopefully, I'm working towards that type of, giving, unconditionally. I think that's very godly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you've met Lena Horne. How old were you?
12. I was on an episode of A Different World with her.
That's special, right?
Yeah, that was special. Come on, that's Glenda.
Yeah, like,
but so much more. Once again, like so much more. The barrier she broke down.
oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, you don't know when you're 12. You don't really know who you're sitting next to. I was just so blessed and so fortunate. I look back on that episode of A Different World now, and I'm like, wow.
Did you get a chance to talk to her? Or you just shook her hand, maybe took a picture? Because your mom is on set with you. Did your mom go on set with you at 12?
Yeah, you have to have a parent.
Okay.
Yeah, but we did scenes together. She was very sweet. We were all kids, so she talked to us, and even as the scene played out, you'll see how the scene plays out. It was very much just like that. It's real easy breezy, sitting next to a legend.
No, that's not a legend. I mean, it got to be something above that.
Iconic.
I mean, I'm gonna be a legend one day. I don't know what I mean. My God, you know what I mean? Like, God.
Iconic. She's history.
Yeah.
She's our history.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Yeah.
Someone wants to come in as Kyle wants to come in and he's go ahead, Kyle. Do you, Kyle? Go ahead.
No, man. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for coming on and spending your time with us. What is your method? I gotta ask you this. What is your method to cry on demand?
I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I do a sense memory. Have you heard of this technique? the Stanislavski technique of sense memory?
Yeah. I have an easier way where you don't have to dig that deep to get it out.
Really? Oh, what's that?
So basically, it's called.
Yeah, you got that. You got you on your Obama phone. You gotta cut your Wi-Fi off. Cut your Wi-Fi off.
Shit. This shit always fucking up, man. You know what I mean? Hold on.
Yeah, he did this last week. We
back now.
That's hilarious.
No, you in darkness. You in darkness.
I want to hear this new method.
You gonna see it. Oh, you
hold on. Let me try to start this up.
All right, yeah, he gonna go back in. Yeah,
if I don't have to listen, if I don't have to think about all the bad things that are happening.
Yeah, he has his own. He'll definitely explain it. There you go, Kyle. Go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, that good.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I call it a yawning face. So you know when you yawn, tears automatically come down your face, right? When you have a good yawn. So I'm gonna show you this method right quick. Okay. All right.
Okay.
It's on cue. You gotta do your best Denzel face. And you know what I mean? You just gotta you see where I'm at. You see my face where it's you have a cry face, but when you crying, you're yawning at the same time. So it's like this. So you just like. You see how we living?
Wow, you did that.
Yeah. You don't have to dig in. You have to get no trauma necessary. No trauma needed. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. That was powerful. I'm gonna try it. I'm practice that.
Yeah. So all you gotta do is like you make a sad face, but like have your mouth open a little bit where you can yawn and just start shaking your head. You know, people. You know what I'm saying? Just shake your head and just make sure your eyes is open, like wide open. So then the water just start flowing down.
And then what happens when you have to say lines with that?
Oh, you can do it. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So don't make me laugh, Fred. Don't make me laugh. I stand character, dog. I stand character. So in cinema, you get a 5-second pause before you gotta say your line anyway. So basically, you get your cry started. You start getting your cry started early. And then by the time your crying is already, your tears is coming, then you just start your monologue. So it's basically like, so me and you, let's have a conversation, and I'm gonna show you like, tell me about like not like, just come up with a story that's like a bad story.
He didn't love her anymore. You know, he walked in and told her it was over.
I don't know. I just can't believe this shit. You see the dramatic pause, and then you see the tears at the same time.
Genius.
Oh. Yeah, I should have done something with this, man.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I needed that laugh. I needed that.
Yeah,
man.
No trauma needed. No trauma needed. So basically, all you do is you just gotta have when you just practice yawn. When you yawn, when you yawn, you know what I'm saying. Tears already coming down. So you just gotta have your Viola Davis face. You know what I'm saying. I call that my Denzel. Like Denzel, he got that. You know what I'm saying, like that certain face. You just gotta hold the yawn, and just open your eyes up wide, and then the tears, because the water just start flowing out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I made that up.
You did. That's dope. That's amazing.
When I was a kid, I used to yawn. So I used to get in trouble all the time. So you have to get the tears before you got the whooping. So you could probably get out of the whooping if you got the tears coming. So
now I can get the tears to get out the whooping.
Yeah,
but I really wanted to be out the whooping.
Yeah. Well, I got some bad Wi-Fi, man. I got some terrible Wi-Fi, but it was nice to meet you. I just thought I could share that with a trained actress. You know what I mean? Now I feel like I've done something with my life, Fred. Appreciate you, big dog.
So nice meeting you, man.
All right, before we get out of here,
Oh,
Demetra says, can you give us 15? Can you give us 50? See, it's after 10. I can't read after 10 o'clock, so you know.
15-second snippet of The Lion King. Whew. I mean, I'm usually in scenes, but let's see. What like a song from The Lion King?
Simba. I don't know. Did that help?
I don't know. So Robbie says, yes, Scar. I can't remember any lines right now. It's been like 18 months. What does she say? She says, yes, Scar. I'm completely blanking on lines from The Lion King. I can't even. And so Robbie doesn't do a song.
Do you?
What's that?
You know, I've never seen The Lion King play. I've never seen it.
Oh, you have to change that.
Yeah, I know for sure. No, I know I do. Oh, Picasso says, Luke, I am. Well, thank you for coming. Oh, by the way, who's your favorite fighter? Do you watch boxing as well? I don't think we've ever.
Huh?
Do you watch boxing as well?
Huh?
No. Okay, good. All right, because I know you work out, but I didn't know if you actually watch the boxers as well. What's that time you been to West Side?
I need to go. I want to go. I want to come back. I want to start training again.
Yeah,
but I haven't been in years now.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but
are you training back there again?
I'm at another gym because they were open during COVID.
Oh, which gym? Is it? Do they have the kind of like the same setup? You just play like a flat rate and you can go.
Yeah, I play a flat rate. I'll send it to you in the DM.
Yeah. Tell me, because I want to get back into this, especially since I'm about to get back to performing again. I got to get everything right.
Yeah, DC just opened up a gym too, so I was thinking about joining that one as well.
That's dope.
108th and Broadway.
Oh, that's on my side of the hood.
Yeah, that's on. Yeah, so he opened up a gym over there, so that'll be cool. So yeah,
that's dope. You said who opened up a gym?
D Smoke, the rapper, singer, rapper.
D Smoke. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Would he be considered just a rapper? Out of curiosity. You know, like, yeah, because I mean he's a little different, different in the meaning, like he's exceptional. So I was just thinking.
Seems like it. He's opening gyms and stuff in the hood.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some research on him.
Yeah, he was a school teacher at Inglewood High.
What?
Yeah, he taught Spanish.
He's really on some different stuff.
Yeah, he taught
He's
Spanish.
Like educated, master's degree.
Yeah, he like portions of his album is in Spanish.
Wow.
Yeah, so
you about to have a fan from you creating a fan right now.
Yeah, you in great shape now. Look at you.
Nah, man. Please. Let me tell you what it used to be. I had gotten up to running like 10 miles.
I remember you running around Monument Park. I watched your stories. Yeah, I watched.
Yeah. I was like running 10 of them straight. I don't even listen. Don't ask me right now.
You was in your zone.
But because I was taking the boxing training and I was training everywhere I was on tour. I kept training. I was going to getting private lessons in Chicago, all over, anywhere I could get a private or some boxing training. I was training everywhere.
So wherever the city you went for you would hire a trainer in that city?
I find a boxing gym in that city and get a couple of privates.
Wow.
Yeah. I really got into it. Like I really enjoy the sport. It's so hard. It is so hard.
Yeah.
But so great for so many reasons. The workouts are so good.
Oh, you got one last comment. Boom says, I told my bro I was Mustafa and he was Scar. He said Mustafa died in the movie. I told him this is real life, not a movie. I've never seen Lion King the movie neither.
What? Change that. Show your kids. Show your kids though.
They've seen it, but
Oh, they've seen it.
But you got to keep in mind that this is the Frozen era, so it's a little bit different.
But that relationship between father and son that's displayed in The Lion King, I think, and that full circle, You know, the circle of life that they talk about, I think is something really important that you are already giving to your son, and to have that reinforced,
Right.
you know, in a way that he could probably understand it a little bit better right now, and the love that you have for him. And
Right.
that's and you know, like Mufasa dies for Simba.
Yeah.
He dies, you know, and because I know that's how you feel for your son,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know.
Right.
So, you know, you'll jump into the herd of wild buffalo
Mm-hmm.
to save him,
Right.
you know. So it's something, you know, that story, the reason why Lion King has stuck around for so long is because that story is never going to change.
Mm.
You know, coming back, owning your legacy, uh, that's never going to change. The circle of life, keeping
Right.
the balance of an ecosystem, you know,
Right.
all of that. You
Right.
know, betrayal, that's life. Like Lion King really deals with life issues that that are going to remain consistent. You
I'll,
know,
I'll watch it at some point.
you should.
I will. Thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for coming to the show. I'm putting her website in the chat, so y'all go
Yeah,
follow her on
it's on
Instagram.
IG too.
Yeah, follow.
All right. This was so dope. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. We
It was
finally.
such a great time.
Hey, you know, it was a year to the day that you came on the show.
Yeah, I was supposed to, right?
Yeah, last year today.
Yes.
That's crazy. I
know.
said it was a year ago that you're supposed to be on the show, and
Look, everything in God's time.
yeah, God's time, right? Trust
God's
God.
time.
Yeah.
Everything in God's time. You know.
Thank you for
So
coming.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right. You have a great one. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, she's an awesome woman. Awesome woman. Awesome. Yeah. Where are we in the show? So yeah, man, that isn't that a crazy story? Lena Horne, Barry Gordy, Debbie Allen. I mean, in terms of historical relevance, I don't have those names in my life. Who could I say? I mean, but she's met them in real in exchanges. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have no one in my life that I've ever done that to. I've only met them and shook their hand, and nah, I don't. That's incredible. That's incredible. So, man, I'm excited to get her book. Get the book. Finish the book. Now when I see her, I'm like, finish the book. Finish the book. So we're gonna make an abrupt left, and y'all want to talk about purse bids and everything else as it pertains to what's the title of the show? Crawford and Porter, purse bid, Bob Arum, and Al Heyman. Yeah, so I'll reset it. What I said earlier. Al Heyman has had the leverage at the welterweight division for quite a long time. And he had Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Earl Spence, and Ugas now, Manny Pacquiao. And he's had the second tier too, the Robert Guerreros, the Andre Bertos, the Victor Ortiz, and the list goes on and on and on and on, right? And I think that the majority of the boxing world celebrated that, right? I would say I've done quite a few videos celebrating that Al Heyman has leverage on Bob Arum, you know, because when Al Heyman came in, I thought he did good by boxing, you know. Just think when Al Heyman came in, Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman was free. Think about that. Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman was free. That's the best fight I've ever been to. Keith Thurman, Sean Porter was the best fight. And I was thinking the second best fight I've been to was Deontay Wilder, Bermane Stiverne 2. Even though it was only 15 seconds. Oh my, it was so much electricity going through that damn arena. Um, and so Al Heyman had it for about 3 or 4 years. And I believe over that time period, I think Al Heyman kind of lost a lot of momentum. I'm speaking for me. He lost a lot of momentum. And I think the business model going from free TV to pay-per-view, I think that ultimately did him in as it pertains to losing the fan base, losing the excitement, because now you're putting Earl Spence, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman on pay-per-view. And as opposed to getting 2.5 million views on a Saturday night, now you're getting 300,000 views. And if you do that through the course of a year and you don't have a anchor, because Floyd was retired. See, Floyd was the anchor for PBC. Even though he fought on Showtime, he was the anchor that put all the eyes on Al Heyman and PBC. And without that anchor in 2021, I think we've seen a steady loss, a steady loss of fans. You know what I mean, as it pertains to boxing. And now, Bob Arum does not have the talent that Al Heyman has. But he had this one card. He had this one fighter, and his name is Terrence Crawford. And what I believe Bob Arum is going to do, he's like, shit, I'm not paying for this fight. Nah, I'm not paying for it. I'm going to put my bid in. And if you want it, history tell you what I'm going to bid. History tells you what Bob Arum is going to bid on this fight. He's going to be in the 4 range, maybe in the 3 range, but he ain't going to put no astronomical number on this fight. And if Al Heyman and PBC wants this fight, they're going to have to bid 5 million, 5.5, 5.25, and I think that's where we're at with this. I don't think Al Heyman wants to pay for this fight neither, because you're not going to get a return on this fight. There's no return on this fight from a financial perspective. It's a great fight for us, for you, but this fight will not make any money. This fight will not sell out. It will not do how many pay-per-view buys? I'd say it'll barely crack 100,000. I don't think he'll do more than 100,000 pay-per-view buys. I don't care if Al Heyman wins the purse bid. But the reason why they go to purse bid is because they couldn't agree. And I honestly believe Bob Arum don't want to agree with Al Heyman at this time and period. He don't, because why would you, if you had a year to negotiate this fight and you don't agree, that means you don't want to put the money up for this fight. And since Terrence Crawford is the champion, Bob Arum, from a logical perspective, was supposed to put the money up for this fight and protect his champion. From a business standpoint, he's like, I don't want to pay Terrence Crawford's guarantee. I don't. I put him on pay-per-view and Postal. It didn't sell. I put him on pay-per-view against Amir Khan. It didn't sell. I could have bought another mansion in Beverly Hills, right? And so with that being said, Bob Arum will not put up his guarantee. I think his guarantee is null and void when it goes to purse bid. And that's how he's getting out of paying Terrence Crawford so much money. So I think that's where we're at with it, as it pertains to that fight. So the question is, how much will Tom Brown Promotions put up for this fight? And I think that's what ultimately delayed this purse bid. The inevitable has to happen, but maybe they can come to an agreement. Maybe they'll agree that. But it's hard to agree because Sean Porter is not going to take $1 million, $1.5 million. but he has to take it in a purse bid. So you see the angle. So you see the angle that Bob Arum is playing. He knows Sean Porter ain't gonna take $1 million, but he has to take $1 million if it goes to purse bid. So that's what he's banking on, and I think that's simply the answer. Let me open up the phone lines. Let me put Chante's website in there one more time, and make sure y'all go follow her on Instagram. She's very inspiring, very inspiring. Phone lines are all. I'm very interested in what y'all got to say. I know we went over on the interview a little bit. I thought it was only going to be an hour, but damn, she's intriguing. Bud just needed an opponent. Does over hell no. Nah. Ain't no way in hell he going. It's no way Bud can do 2,000 pay-per-view buys. It's no way. No way. Impossible. Impossible he can do. Fred, Bob wanted to make the fight with Al, but Al didn't. Bob said he wanted to, but Al didn't agree because he knew he. Wait a minute. Let me understand this. Fred, Bob wanted to make the fight with Al, but Al didn't. Bob said he wanted to, but Al didn't agree because he knew he wanted to go to purse bid and win. Yeah. So I would agree PBC is gonna win this purse bid. If I'm a betting man, I believe PBC will bid more on this fight. No doubt in my mind. Bob Arum is going to bare minimum. He's going to bare minimum this fight because he doesn't want it. Y'all thinking Al Heyman versus Bob Arum. No. It's Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter can't sell. That's the problem. That's the big problem. Sean Porter can't sell 100,000 buys. Sean Porter doesn't come to the dance with 100,000 pay-per-view buys in his pocket. Terrence Crawford doesn't come to the dance with 100,000 pay-per-views in his pocket. It's work to get these guys. That's the point that I'm trying to make, is that that's the dilemma. Will you get your money back? I don't see how they get their money back. I don't think the venue sells out. This is a boxing platform. So everyone that's in here is looking forward to this fight. I don't think they can sell 18,000 tickets for this fight. I don't think so. And this is me just being ironclad pragmatic. This ain't, I hate Sean Porter. I hate Terrence Crawford. I don't see the upside. You can't put the fight in New York. The only way you can put this fight in New York is if it was next summer. Ain't nobody leaving. Ain't nobody going to sell this fight out in the snow. So this fight has to be in Nebraska. I think this fight has to be in Nebraska. The best fight I've attended to was Spence Porter when Spence started that. Yeah. Southside is the realest. Before round 10. Last great fight before COVID. You're right. It was a hell of a fight. What's up, TB?
Yo, what it do, Fred? What it do?
What's up? So did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it, man.
And what'd you think of the episode?
I thought it was great. I mean, I'm not really like up to date like on the like Malcolm X stuff. I just watched the show. I'm a supporter, but yeah, but man, it was dope, bro. Like I definitely think Vincent deserved to go to jail, bro. He shouldn't have ordered Ernie to get killed like that, even though he killed the main man.
Oh, you didn't think he deserves to go to jail?
No, I said I think he does deserve to go to jail.
Hell yeah, he done killed so many people. He done killed both her boyfriends.
Right.
Yeah. He deserved to go to jail. Hell yeah, he deserves the death penalty. Shit, Bumpy Johnson deserves the death penalty too.
Yeah. Especially what they did to Method Man and the whole 10 Harlem.
Yeah. Last episode or 2 episodes ago. Yeah, they definitely shot him up, bang, bang. But
I mean, they did kind of deserve that though, because they was trying to like get greasy and make a deal with the Italians.
Yeah. Facts. Nah, I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, that episode got me a little bit emotional, man, because we can see the end of Malcolm X coming. Yeah. Like I know the year is 1964, so they're gonna stretch. So they got to stretch it out for another 3 episodes. He can't get killed for another 3 episodes, because 5 episodes they can go into syndication. So, and it's no show without Malcolm. So it's gonna take some time. It's definitely gonna take some time. So, so that's
how many seasons do you think it before Malcolm dies?
It got to be the 5th season. It can't be before. Nah, it genuinely can't be, because there's no show without Malcolm. Yeah. So, but tell me what you think about Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford. How many pay-per-view buys you think he'll do?
To be honest, I don't think that fight should be on pay-per-view. I think that's the highest grade of a TV fight.
What did I tell Bob? Ain't that what I asked Bob? Do you remember that? Did you see that interview?
I think I've seen parts of it.
He said, "I can't afford it. We can't afford it." I'm like, man, that fight should be on free TV. We can't afford to put a fight like that on TV. That's what he said. It's gonna flop miserably on pay-per-view.
Yeah. They got to put on a hell of a stack undercard to if they
can't afford it. They can't afford it. Now, unless you put Big Baby Miller there, he's probably in that realm. You probably put Big Baby Miller and then Al Heyman to put the Mexican kid on there, that the 6'6" Mexican kid, the Towering Inferno, and I don't know who gets the 4th slot, but yeah, you got to be in that realm. So 2 more seasons. Oh, you talking about Godfather of Harlem, Mark West. I think this fight needs to be on free TV. This fight gonna bomb. The pay-per-view numbers on this show, on this, it's not even worth mentioning. It's not even worth mentioning. No one's gonna buy Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford, dog. Nah. Manny Pacquiao did 250, right? How many did Earl Spence do against Danny Garcia? Do you remember?
I think it was like 536,000, if I remember.
Danny Garcia?
It could have been more, but I don't remember like off the top of my head.
Can someone tell me, because that's the median? So how many pay-per-view buys did Danny Garcia, Earl Spence do? Anybody know in the chat? 318. So let's say they did 318. Okay. Manny Pacquiao did 250. So the median between 320 and 250, that's 70. So that's 35. What's 35 over 250? 75. That's 285,000 pay-per-views. So when you look at 285,000 pay-per-views, that's the median for the elites of the elites. You get what I'm saying? I think they do half that. So it would be 140. 140 times, it's not $100 pay-per-view. How much is that? $59 or $69? How much? 59 or 69?
They're gonna put it at $59.
$59. So 60 times 100,000. How much is that?
600,000.
Is it really? Is that 6 million? That's 6 million.
6 million. Yeah, I'm tweeting.
That's 6 million.
Yeah, my bad.
That's $6 million. The gate probably do $1 million. No, the gate won't do $1 million. Nah, you can't put 16. The fight can't go to Vegas. There's too much going on in Vegas. That fight gotta be in. If they want to sell it out, the fight gotta be in Omaha. That's the only way that's the only place they can do that fight in hopes of getting a W out of it.
Yeah.
It's too cold on the East Coast. Too much competition in LA. Taxes are too high in LA. You can't do it here. You definitely can't do it in Dallas. Makes no sense. You got to do it in Vegas or you got to do it in Omaha. Or Atlanta. Thank you, pound for pound. Atlanta. You think that fight could do well in Atlanta?
Nah,
I don't think that's an Atlanta fight. I think you got to be an attraction. I don't think Shakur Stevenson is going to do well, but they'll get the lower bowl full, you know. Yeah. Whew, they up against it, man. They up, and it's only the fault of the fighters at the end of the day. How big is your brand? They want all this money, but the money ain't coming in. So you got $6 million, $800,000 gate. And half of that goes to the cable company. So that's $3 million and $800,000. That's $3.8 million that they're going to gross for this fight.
So let me ask you: you think they should lower the cost, like $60? They should lower it to like $50 or like $40?
No, because whoever, if you got 100,000 buys, those people would have bought it anyway.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Godfather of Harlem is the best on TV. Bumpy Johnson was the man. I love Malcolm, but may I ask, what do you mean it's no show without Malcolm? I think Malcolm adds that duality to the show. He makes Bumpy Johnson human. He makes Adam Clayton Powell. He humanizes Adam Clayton Powell. Obviously, it's a show without it. It's a show without him. It's still a good show, but the level of humanity that Malcolm X adds to that show is just irreplaceable. You know, if not, it just becomes a mobster film, a mobster thing. You know, it's just
all the sins that that Bumpy Johnson commits. Malcolm X kind of is a voice of reason.
Yeah, the voice of yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, oh, for sure, definitely a voice of reason. Definitely a voice of reason, and I think all those characters are extremely different in their core values. And I think that's why this show is so beautiful. And now Malcolm's the woman that loves Malcolm, now she's starting to flourish now. Like she's really opened up. She's really blossomed in the last 4 episodes. And I think she's going to take on a major role. She's going to be the intel for Malcolm, and the pain that she's going to have when they kill Malcolm. Oh, it's going to be, oh my God. When they murder Malcolm, excuse me, it's going to be insane. You know, that's going to be a tough episode. That's going to be a painful episode. Especially if you watch every episode and you've seen her grow into her role. You know, it's it's
you talking about Bumpy's daughter?
Yeah, Bumpy's daughter, Bumpy Johnson's daughter. Yes, Bumpy Johnson's daughter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Godfather of Harlem is the best ever. I changed my cable provider. Yeah. He says Bud Porter is a 10 times better fight than EJ Danny. I agree. I think it's a great fight, but they don't have a brand. Yeah, I'm not discrediting the fight. You gotta be able to sell the fight. You gotta be able to sell the fight. You know, I don't see them selling it. I mean, not unless Floyd Mayweather promotes it. You know, maybe TMT does a purse bid on it.
I got one more thing for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you think of first of all, what you think of Jake Paul giving up his salary for Amanda Serrano and what was I gonna say? And what do you think Oscar Valdez testing pissing hot?
I think it's a team issue. I think all of them. I think all of them are on it. Did you see Andy Ruiz? Dog, come on, dog. Like it's just. I mean, sometimes you're doing a little too much. You know what I mean? God damn. I said Ryan Garcia was pissing hot and on the Boxing Voice. And he was like, no. Yeah, man. Man, I work out every day of my life, man. Not every day, but most days. And I know the evolution of a body at 43, 44 years old. Like, it's no way. It's no way you're going to convince me that that's normal. No way. No way. There's just no way in hell. No way in hell. So,
Man, the only clean fighter in that gym is Canelo, man. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Oh man. Oh man. The cleanest thing in the gym is the sanitizer. That's it. They all dirty. They all dirty, man. Man. Good luck, Caleb Plant. Good luck, Caleb Plant.
Yeah, but lastly, what'd you think of Jake Paul giving up his salary?
Yeah, I think it's incredible. I reached out to Amanda Serrano to confirm the story. I really want to know if it's true or not, because people said, "Oh, it may be fake." So I just want to get confirmation that it's real. I'm gonna tell the story as if it's real. But I want confirmation from somebody. I genuinely want confirmation from someone so I can I mean, it's just an incredible. It's incredible what he did. It's incredible to give up $1 million. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
you know. So.
And they gave Tommy Fury $729,000 in a 4-round fight.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then gave the girl 40,000.
Yeah. And she's a 7-division world champion. Tommy Fury, bro, he only had 12. They say he only had 12 amateur fights, and every fighter that he had was a losing record.
Makes sense. I didn't watch his fight.
He put me to sleep, bro.
Yeah,
it wasn't nothing.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
The whole card was really bullshit, except the Montana Love and Ivan Barechek fight.
I like that fight. That's the one fight that I did see. And I watched a little bit of Amanda Serrano, and then I watched the main event. But I got disinterested in the main event.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're gonna try to feed Montana Love to Gervonta Davis, especially because they sparring session. But that's just, you think so?
Yeah. It makes sense. Makes sense. He's a 140 guy though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. You know, coming off a sensational win. Yeah, they'll try. Tank said he coming back in December. He ain't coming back in December. Yeah, it's next year. He coming back next year. It don't make sense.
Fighting
Rolly.
They said he's rumored to fight Rolly Romero.
Yeah, I know.
I think Rolly's gonna get knocked out.
Oh, he's gonna get
be quick. It's gonna be a very quick fight.
I predict Rolly to lose, but I don't see him fighting. I don't see Tank fighting this year.
You said you don't?
No, I don't see him fighting this year.
Why not?
Because there's no room. One, there's no room, and I think the budget is done. I don't think so. It's just what I believe, though. I'll be happy to be wrong because it's a fight. I want to see Tank fight again, but I don't think he's getting in the ring again this year. He said October, right? Who told you he was fighting in October? Leonard Elby? He don't know shit about scheduling. He don't know nothing about budgeting. How the hell was he gonna fight in October and Deontay Wilder's fighting October 9th? Come on, man. Let's just have common sense. Oh, you gonna fight in October, man? I told y'all he ain't fighting in October. He ain't fighting in December neither. He only has 1 week to fight in December. That's the first week of December. I don't know if you would take that risk with Tank. I don't know. Pay-per-view, Tank, holiday season. Do you take that risk?
I mean, didn't he fight December 28th, a couple years ago in Atlanta?
But that was not pay-per-view. That was December 26th. I was there. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It's not pay-per-view.
Yeah. So do you take that risk? I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. But that's my call, sir. I'm back in the chat.
Appreciate you. Yeah, Tank did 200 buys. Okay. Yeah, man, Big Chop, man. I love your optimism. Yes, Tank is bigger than Tank did 200,000 buys. Barrios. Let me read it off real quick. 1 second, 915. Tank did 200K buys versus Barrios. So basically, you're saying Tank is a bigger than Sean and Bud put together. 200 buys at $80 is 16 million plus gate and sponsors. Yeah, you on crack. Nah, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Yeah, Tank is a bigger star than both of them combined on in the pay-per-view market. I believe so. You got to show me. You got to show numbers to disprove it. Put their pay-per-view numbers up, and we'll go from there, and we'll disseminate. What's up, 915?
Fred, what's going on?
Hey, how you feel? How you feel?
Sam, doing great. Loving the conversation. I'm glad to see y'all were going into the great world of Godfather of Harlem.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you're familiar with some of the writers on that show.
I am
not.
not.
Guy by the name of the guy by the name of Moses Bernu. I hope I'm not pronouncing his name wrong. He's one of the writers. He's done several shows. I think American Gods, and he had an independent show which was on YouTube initially. Had so much traction on YouTube. Tidal picked it up. It was called Money and Violence.
Oh, he's the writer.
He's a writer.
Oh, on that show. I love Money and Violence on YouTube. Loved it.
Yeah, and I was so upset when they kind of fell out and disbanded the show. He actually made his writing, and I know you would be able to appreciate this as a production guy. He made another show after that called The Spot. I think it was like his brother or somebody. They filmed the entire 8 or 9 episode show on YouTube, but I didn't realize it was in one room.
Wow.
It was so complex. And I hope you get a chance to look at it just by what you did with your film.
Yeah.
But how he filmed the entire thing in an apartment. And I'm like, wow, I didn't realize it to the end. But he's such a tremendous writer. And I hope you do. I mean, I'm sticking with that show. I kind of think you're a little bit skewed when it comes to the Malcolm X thing.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think he's going to make it past. I think he's going to make it out of the next season. But there's a lot to go with Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah.
You can go. It's still the Sam Christian angle with the Method Man character that they didn't. He's the only one that got away. Mm-hmm. And if you are familiar with the underworld. Sam Christian was the head of the Philadelphia Black Mafia, and that was a whole nother genre that they can go to. And I also feel like being with he does a lot of what do they call it? I'm not a film guy, but a lot of flashbacks. Still, one of those seasons they're going to go back to Bumpy Johnson's time pre arrest with the Stephanie St. Clair and the Dutch Schultz and all that. That show has so much material, source material they can go to. Even though I'm going to be sad because when they can Malcolm X's death is literally coming. When they introduced the court hearing between the nation and Malcolm X about the home, like damn, it's coming. It's like okay, but you do kind of really feel sorry for Atleast and Bumpy because those more so in that he does an excellent job writing. Directing, not just him, but the other people on that show, making you literally feel the connection between Bumpy Johnson's daughter and Malcolm X.
Isn't it powerful?
Even so much so is even more powerful than the one he has with his own wife.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm like, damn, I know that's Betty Shabazz, but you like, okay, well how's Elise going to feel? And that's a really good show. I'm glad that a lot of people are really getting a chance to get into that show, being as though it was produced by so many good African American writers, directors, and just being able to just sit there and have a show that we can look forward to on a week by week basis and literally cliffhang off. Yeah,
man, it's sad we got to wait another 6 months now, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like okay, I'm of course most people who YouTube people, but there are a lot of sometimes fillers that you can put in and the binge watch with the YouTube. That's how, like I said, I got turned on to the Money and Violence. Not 90% is BS, but every now and again you find a good YouTube series with the choppy production that has a little bit of a good storyline. Again, I'm not the most professional or went to school for filmmaker or anything, but you can tell a good story from a good story. Another one, if you wanted to get involved, is another one like low budget, Respect Life. I think that was the name of it. A good story
Thank
too,
you.
along
Respect
in those,
Life.
all those same lines. And again, you'll be able to appreciate them. Probably many of the fans of your work will be able to appreciate these movies or shows because they're told from the lens of we're all real, but it's a grassroots story. Camera right there. So that's something I hope a lot of people check out. Another topic, if you don't mind, I was listening to the caller you were saying about the Bud and Spence fight.
Yeah.
How do you think? Would you think that I was thinking, and it's really out of the box, that I really feel the same way that you do. The fight can only sell in Nebraska, but I think that boxing needs to tap in to other different venues in different areas, like Jake Paul and Logan Paul did. They need to start getting with other sports. Boxing, some cards can't stand alone. Some cards can't. You can have 2 or 3 good undercard matches and then the main event. But what happens when you can't put a good undercard together? When you do, when the only fight is the one fight that you want to see, what do? Put a crappy undercard together and just hope it comes out good? No, don't you take that fight that the boxing fans want to see Sean Porter, not want to. We're starved for it. Yeah. Boxing fans will Bud Crawford, Sean Porter. Yeah, we'll watch it. Will we pay for it? Who knows? Imagine that fight being on either after a University of Nebraska game in Nebraska Stadium with their rabid fans. And then if all they have to do is boost the tickets up $10 or $20 and it'll pay for the revenue right there. Because nobody's going to come to the show anyway by itself.
Right.
So if just people in boxing just don't look outside of the box, we're going to have so many things like Bob's not going to continue to pay for things that he's not going to make money off of. So what does the boxing fan do? So the only way we can get these fights that we want to see, like you said a few minutes ago, the model that PBC had with the free fights was a good model, but they changed horses in the middle of the race, and people didn't change with them. So hopefully that there could be some, I don't know what it had to take, or new blood by having new voices in there to try to do something different with boxing. But I don't want my son, because I'm grown, my son's 4, he started to like boxing. I don't want him in 18, 20, 23, 24 going through the same issues that we have now, where we can't see fights that he want to see. Or fights, they're still going to continue to do the same thing if the business model doesn't change.
Right.
We won't get the fights that we want to get. Life happens no matter what. The fight we did want to see that happened with Earl Spence and Pacquiao, life happened. He had a problem with an eye. We seen a fight that we didn't want to see with Ugas. So now Ugas beats Pacquiao. Even though Pacquiao has a built-in fan base, who wants to see Pacquiao again, really? Even if it is against Spence. I don't think no one's going to pay for that fight now. That's a fight you would have to put on TV, even though Earl Spence has his built-in fan base, and so does Pacquiao. But that's a fight that I don't want to see because it's been tainted. So I feel like this boxing just needs a whole new influx, and that's why when I watch the show, sometimes when you had Bob on, I'm like, damn, maybe Bob listens, maybe he hears, but he's so entrenched into what he's done.
He's not changing. Bob ain't changing.
Exactly, it's worked for him for decades. Why would he change now?
Right.
There's no reason to. And even after Bob's retired, who and someone takes over, who's going to change the business model? Not him, not the people who work for him. I'm pretty sure he'll have some type of mechanisms in place where it'll be ran the same way even after he retires or goes on. So what do we do to change boxing to get the fights that we want to get? Just have a wholesale shift and just say we're not watching it anymore? It's not going to happen.
Right.
And it's frustrating for the fans because then what do we do? What can you do? We want to see a boxing match. Anytime that we have conversations of it's built in a core group of boxing fans that want to see the upper echelon fights, and they're getting fed dog food after you're going to, it's like going to Ruth's Chris. You know you're about to get a 5-star meal, and they put out dog food and then come out with the bill for the same price. What is it that we do, Fred? How is it that as boxing enthusiasts, fans, as a community in general, how can we change it?
Pull your money out. Do what I'm doing. I'm not paying for no pay-per-views.
Let's be honest. Who really pays for pay-per-views now?
Yeah, don't go to the fight. Don't give them your money. Keep your money in your pocket until they give you what we're supposed to get.
Well, how many times can you tell? How you can't tell everybody that, because what happens when they go, oh, a friend of mine invited me to the fight, or I got some tickets that they gave away for free. Oh, I'll just go just to see a sloppy show, because if they're going to keep, it's just boxing's on a decline. Where do you see, where is the sunshine on the horizon? Is there going to be a brighter day anytime soon? What do you do? Besides, what can you do? Can you tell the fighters to do, or the promoters to do something different? Because even though we get together as communities, as a community, as a subgenre, as urban boxing fans, what do you do besides sit here and talk and commiserate around amongst each other and talk about what we don't like, what we do like? Yeah, that gives us something to galvanize as fans, but we still don't get the fights. We still come and talk. We still watching your show, Fred. We're having a conversation about how bad the fights are. It's like, it has to be some type of wholesale change. And I'm really trying to think, would it just work with taking our dollar away? Because
of course it would. Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, let's just look at that. Just in general, every fight, the last 5 fights, major fights, minor fights, mediocre, whatever. You said you're taking your dollar away from it, but you've seen the fight. The streaming services and people bootlegging fights has taken and changed the game tremendously. So when you have nobody buying the fights but still seeing them, and then you only have a fraction of the people buying it, that's still, and people are taking our dollar away in a sense, but they're still not there. Oh, maybe we need to give them something different because the pay-per-view numbers aren't there. No, we won't, because what we did based on what we want to do, this isn't it. I'm trying to put this side, A side versus B side, and we're only getting 200,000 pay-per-views. They're not going to change. Do we just turn off everything, or does boxing just need, everybody needs to be fired? They need to bring one conglomerate to manage the entire thing of boxing, even though it won't happen. But is that something that could change everything?
Nah, just stream it. Stream your fights. Stream your fights.
That you're not telling me nothing that nobody's already doing.
No, but I'm talking about stream the free fights.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there anything what fight on the horizon, or what fight that you've seen in 2021 would you have picked? Say, you know what, I'll pay for that fight, or I'll pay for it again. Only fight that I'm willing to pay for, or willing to spend my money to go to, would be a Wilder fight. And after that, that's it. So one fighter out of 1,000 at a heavyweight division, one fighter out of 20 top tier heavyweights that I'm willing to spend $100 on, which I bought his last fight, Fury 1 and 2, or go to see the fight and spend $400 or $500 on a ticket. But that's one fighter. And even with that, we still can't get the fights that we want when it came to him, because guess what? Let's hope, which I believe in my heart of hearts, Wilder is literally going to beat dog shit out of Fury. Literally. What happens after that? Does he get the undisputed fight? We all know he doesn't get it. It's going to be the same. And once he gets the belt, it's going to be the same thing. I'm trying to get one face, one name, one champ. A fight that's been in the works for 5 years. And I might be wrong, but when will we get it? Now, we done took our money away. We done added our money by paying for Wilder pay-per-views, going to Wilder events, and they still don't give us the fights we want.
Gotcha. Get off the phone.
But
appreciate you.
I'm off.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Fred. Good to talk to you. Definitely check out those.
Yeah, Money and Violence was extraordinary, and I'm going to reach out to that writer because I actually followed him on Instagram and didn't know he was a writer on Godfather Harlem. So thank you.
I'm not telling you what to watch. Check that shit. Just the joint out is called The Shop. Check 1 or 2 episodes out.
Yeah,
and you'll appreciate his writing just in that world.
Okay. Yeah.
So, in fact, I'm going to actually take a look at your film again because I wanted to show somebody. So,
thank you. Thank you for sharing.
I'm
appreciate you.
No problem.
Thank you, bro. Peace. Marky Dan 1 2 3. Come over to UFC. They don't treat fans like shit. Where can a business treat its customers like absolute crap and we keep coming back for more? That's where I'm at with it. That's exactly where I'm at with it. We should get in a space where we're only taking from boxing. Fuck boxing. Fuck boxing, man. Only when you're when it's doing something for you. Check these cards out this week. I just found out PBC had a card on yesterday. I just found out today Conor Brendan's fighting Adrian Granados. You know, so I don't know. Whole bunch of BS. You know, so I ain't on it. But so big homie, Coop, you've changed my mind. I think the cap is 150,000. Instead of 100, I think the most they can look for is 150,000. So Big Chop, you've raised my expectations. I think 150. 150 is the absolute highest they could do for that fight. They can't do more. There's no, it's just impossible. It's impossible. And I think 150,000 is going to be hard. And if that's pay-per-view, that pay-per-view has to be in December. And it can't be the first week of December because you got the Heisman. Well, if PBC does the pay-per-view, let's see, it's September, October. So that would be Tank's date. So Tank ain't fighting in December, huh? Tank ain't fighting this year, y'all. Hell no. He's done. Tank is done. He's fighting next year. So I don't, man. Boxing is just a piece of crap, man. They ain't giving us nothing. They ain't shit. And we just keep on going back. You know what I mean? Like, it's such an abusive relationship. How come we can't get Demetrius Andrade versus Jamal Charlo? It's the only fight in a division that has any value. Make the fight. There's no other fight you want to see at 160 besides Jamal Charlo and Andrade. I don't care that your promoter don't like him and he bailed out. Yada, yada. It's the only fight at 160. The only fight. If you can tell me another one, I'm willing to listen. 126. 122, kudos. I think Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza are doing a hell of a job at 122. I think they get an A++ for 122. 126, I think it's an absolute failure. I think Al Heyman failed at 126. I think Bob Arum failed at 126. He didn't. Shakur Stevenson never fought Valdez. I think that's an absolute fail. 130, Bob Arum, not an A. But he has given us 2 really good fights at 130. Tone Brown's favorite fighter and Oscar Valdez, and you got Jamel and Shakur. So that's pretty close to an A. 130 on Al Heyman's side. That's Chris Colbert in them. Bullshit. That's straight hogwash. Everybody's failed at 135. Maybe Bob gets a little bit of a higher grade because Teofimo fought Loma. But outside of that, I think everybody's failed each other at 135. 140. Bob unified at 140. So The only place you can get is an A there. I think Bob Arum gets an F at 147. I think Al gets like a. Well, you can't blame Al for the injury. So, what grade would you give Al Heyman at 147? What grade would you give him at 147? Maybe a B. Maybe a B. Give him a B. 154. I mean, Al Heyman is the only show in town at 154. I would give him like a B. I would give a C plus B for Al Heyman. Everybody else gets Fs. 160. Al Heyman gets an F. Eddie Hearn definitely gets an F because he got two of them. Actually, Al Heyman would get a D. Eddie Hearn would get the F because he has two of them. C plus B. Yeah, somewhere in there, right? Somewhere in there. Al Heyman gets an A minus at 147. Well, I mean, if they could have made that Keith Thurman Earl Spence fight somehow, some way, definitely get an A. Yeah, give him a B plus. Yeah, he's good in there. 168. 168. Eddie Hearn. I think at 168, Canelo gets the A. Everybody else is just fans of 168. I think Canelo gets the A plus. He done fought 4 times this year. I don't think it has much to do with Eddie Hearn, but he's put on the shows. So, I mean, he gets the A. Bob Arum, Al Heyman took the bill. 175, bullshit. Heavyweight. I just skipped over cruiserweight. I don't even know who's there. Heavyweight. Nobody gets a grade. Everybody gets an F at heavyweight. Everyone gets an F. Ain't no fights happening. These guys ain't fighting each other. So Tank versus Gary Russell should have been. They want to make some money. I think that's a fight that's profitable. I think that's a fight that's really profitable. I really, really believe that. And so I think Bob Arum is Bob Arum gets an F at 126. Al Heyman gets an F at 126. I think Al Heyman gets an A plus at 120. I think the best division right now. Well, we're gonna get closure at 168. So kudos to everybody. Kudos to Al Heyman for making that fight at 168. And kudos to Al Heyman for 122. I think Al Heyman. I actually think during COVID, I think he's done a hell of a job at bringing 122 to life. I really believe that. Steven Espinoza and Al Heyman. So they get credit for that for sure. 126 has just been a terrible disappointment, dog. Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz didn't have to fight a second time. That was just a whole bunch of bullshit. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with it. I'm just judging it off of COVID in this year. People don't remember before COVID, people. But I did grade 147 with the Sean Porter fight with Earl Spence, Sean Porter. COVID came, Earl Spence got into the accident, and then because Danny Garcia was supposed to fight him January 25th, right? If it hadn't been for the accident, and then Earl Spence eye injury. So you can't. I refuse to blame Al Heyman for the injuries. That's just not fair to him. You can't blame him for it. The fans just get more and more disappointed, Yeah. So y'all don't Y'all don't forget I gave Al Heyman an A++ for 122. All right. Since y'all think I hate him so much. Just tell the truth, you know, tell the truth. Don't forget I gave Bob Arum an F at 126. All right. Don't ever forget that in your life. In your life. Don't ever forget it. Oh, Kyle, you ready, man? Kyle, you ready? You ready to get out of here, man? You ready? But in the meantime, between time, before we go, we got to watch that trailer one more time, man. I think this film is incredible, man. Y'all got to tell y'all friends. Y'all got to tell y'all friends to watch this incredible film called 9 Wise. PBC gets an E at 118. But everyone they get an E. Oh, man. PBC has a card on the 18th and the 19th. I don't know who's fighting on the 19th, but they not investing no money. So it's going to be a lot of young fighters. And sometimes, and fuck, man, you got, why did I leave the phone lines open? God, I forgot that. Yeah, man, hurry up.
Yeah, Fred, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good. Hey, Fred,
what's up?
You gotta put the feet, the foot, the entire body to the fire. Mm-hmm. Oscar Valdez.
Oh, for sure. Go ahead.
Oscar Valdez. I hope you hear me, or his fans, Team Valdez. This is it for you jokers, man. This is it. This is it. I don't want to hear no excuses. Literally, when you sign up for the WADA, for the WADA, for the VADA, they give you a list of things not to take. They give you a list. It's been exposed for a long time. They give you a list of things to stay away from. It's not like they say, hey, sign this paper and try not to pop hot. They give you a list of things to avoid. Y'all are professionals. This is no excuse. I've seen the excuses online, Fred, and it's pissing me off. It's making me mad. Fuck that shit. Just like y'all did what y'all said about Earl Spence. Y'all didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. We're not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That team needs to be investigated, Fred. There needs to be a magnifying glass on that fucking gym. It's over. It's over. There's no excuse for this bullshit. First, it's the beef. Now it's the tea. What's next? What's next? What's the next thing? That gym is full of frauds, Fred. It's full of frauds. Andy Ruiz lost 30 pounds in no time. What the fuck is going on? If I was a fighter working out at that gym, I'll leave that shit immediately. Here, you can have my membership. I don't give a fuck. Here, you can take my Canelo boots that he gave me. Here, you can take that shit. I don't want no part of that shit. I respect clean fighters, Fred. I respect them a lot because it's harder to fucking do it when you got so much pressure on, so much things on the line, and you got these people who tell you, hey, take this, take that, you'll get a better advantage. No, fuck that. I respect the fighters say, no, I don't want that shit. I'm going to get it out the mud, and I'm going to kick this guy's ass and go home with my check. Shout out to the people who put this shit out there, man. They could have kept quiet. I heard Bob Arum was mad, and Mike Carpenter and a couple of people at ESPN. They shouldn't have hired his fucking ass. They know
they
Mike
were?
Carpenter.
Are they mad at him for what?
He put out the Valdez. He put it out there, the news.
Oh,
he didn't want it reported until all the facts came out, till he get his B sample out.
Man, Bob, that's why he was upset. Please, Bob. Man, Bob, go. That's our job. Shit, that's our job.
Now, hey, don't be mad at us, Bob. Don't be mad at us, man. This is sport. Look, I'm gonna be honest, Fred. I'm gonna cut this shit real quick. I'm gonna be honest. I for a long time I believe a lot of the top athletes in all sports are on some type of shit to get an advantage. I mean, I've talked to people before who was in different industries, and they say it's common knowledge. It's common knowledge that these people are on something. It's literally common knowledge. And anybody who thinks, nah, man, not this guy ain't on it, that they are fucking sadly mistaken, very naive. People forget Sugar Shane Mosey, a legend, Hall of Famer. He admitted he was on steroids. We don't know how long, but he admitted it, and he never got caught. Think about that. For all you people listening or watching it, he never got caught. Never. But he admitted he took it. Lance Armstrong's another one. How many of these fighters or even athletes in general you think were never on or have never taken some shit to get an advantage when millions is on the line? Y'all need to wake the fuck up. Some of y'all are very naive thinking one fighter is dirty and the rest of them aren't. It's a lot of dirty motherfuckers in this sports entertainment game. I already said this before to some people. They either need to just let them do PDs on all level playing field, let everybody do it. I don't care how low a fighter you are or whatever, or just lifetime ban their asses like they did Panama Lewis. Lifetime ban. Because this is why boxing is a joke and why guys like Jake Paul respect to what he did. But the truth of the truth, he could just get into the game and do what he do with no drug testing until the day of the fight and afterwards. It's sad, Fred, man. We as boxing fans should be lucky there ain't a lot of Jake Pauls around, or we'll be in trouble. We'll have to watch a bunch of these YouTuber celebrity socialites getting in boxing and making money, and while real boxing dies out. We should be thankful it's only one Jake Paul. Imagine it was dozens of them. And there's nothing we could do about it, because guess what? As you told me before, the executives and the networks bring the money to the promoters who give it to the fighters. But Oscar Valdez, man, you dirty as shit, man. You can't blame it on no fucking teeth. That's an excuse. Just come out, say you was dirty, you cheated, get your ban, drop the belt, and get the fuck on. Because you ducked Shakur Stevenson, which a lot of people don't want to talk about. You ducked Shakur Stevenson. You didn't give that kid a fucking chance, an opportunity. You want to fight some dude I never heard of. What's his name? He's supposed to fight Robinson. What? I don't even know. Concessions. What the fuck? Shout out to Jamel Herring, man. I know he gonna lose that fight against Shakur Stevenson, but shout out to him for being a real warrior who didn't duck no smoke. He fighting Shakur Stevenson. Somebody involved that should have been fought. I'm not gonna take my foot off their necks, Fred. Just like I'm not gonna take my foot off the WBA's neck. They still gonna get their foot and their whole body to the fucking fire. We not gonna stop. This is bullshit. Can you imagine if Devin Haney got popped? Can you imagine, Fred? I don't give a fuck who Oscar Valdez with. He needs to be lifetime banned. If we're gonna take this shit serious, ban his ass for life, like they did Marion Jones. Took her medals, everything. This is why it's hard to find real boxing fans nowadays, Fred, because they don't know what's going on. They don't know how these athletes keep getting popped and they can still fight. They banned Jarrell Miller for 3 years. That whole gym needs to be investigated. Ryan Garcia, lying ass, Andrew Reeves losing 30 pounds so quick. All of them. I don't care what they look like. The what they call them, the Ellis brothers, all of them. Eddie Reynoso too himself. We as boxing fans need to put our foot down. Either stream the real fighters, the clean fighters, the one that take the risk, or don't pay for none of this bullshit Mickey Mouse. Stream real fights, stream fake fights, bullshit fights, and watch the real fighters. Shout out to Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton, Raif Salim, Danny Ramon, real fighters, never got popped. Those guys I respect. And that's my call. And shout out to Deontay Wilder, Shakur Stevenson, Earl Spence, Devin Haney, real fighter who never got popped, who put their hard work into the gym. And honestly, if any of them got popped, I would keep that same energy too. I don't give a fuck. And that's my call, Fred. We gotta oust these motherfucking jokers. This is bullshit. I'm out.
Oh wow. L-Dub, Aleem is not fighting Roman now? Who's he fighting? Who's he fighting? Damn, I was looking forward to that, man. That would have took Aleem till he got to fight. Well, it does. Hopefully, I know he's fighting on the card, though. I know Aleem is fighting on the card. So that'll be good because Aleem is going to put on the show. And yeah, I remember late last year, I said Showtime needs to invest in 122. And voila, magic. Anyways, man, let's watch the trailer one more time. If you ain't got the movie, I don't know where you been. Where you been, under a rock or something? Where you been? Oh, my bad. That's not it. That's not it. Let's change that. Let's go here. Nine Wives trailer. How about we do this?
Lemonade Renters Insurance covers your $1 million t-shirt, $1 million sunglasses, $1 million MP3 player.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Good evening, messenger.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.
You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
How many? Hey, so click the link that's pinned up in there. Anyways, yeah. So we're going to get out of here, man. Somebody got to say somebody. Anybody. Since DB ain't here. Somebody got to tell me to play the song. Somebody got to tell me. Fred looking at YouTube receipts, nigga. Yeah, man. Play the fucking song. There you go. Appreciate you. Hey, Chante, man. Wow. Thank you, Chante, for coming in the barbershop. We went all around the world. Same song. We went all around the world today, man. Chante's so eloquent. Tomorrow is just us. Tomorrow was just, so maybe we'll bring this subject back tomorrow. We'll see what's going on tomorrow in boxing. Or maybe it's just gone, you know. If I'm actually Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, you know, if I'm them, I would talk so much trash. Okay, this is how we're gonna prove that they listening to the show. After this part, likes to play with no rehearsal. Cause the devil is a lie. I'm telling you the truth. It's all in what you do. Some things you gotta do. Hey. People Hernandez, what's up? If I'm them, I talk the most trash on social media to one another to get the fans hype, because I think the win got taken out of the fan sales today. You know, I knew it was going to be an extension because that's just what boxing does. But see if they talk trash on social media every day. Watch. Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford going to say something. Sean Porter going to respond. Something gonna happen on social media. Watch. Hey, I got a question. If you're a gangbanger, for real, this is a real question. If you a gangbanger and you die, do you want a gangbanger funeral? I'm just curious.
Bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons, indigenous to the grind. So I do it for all my people, jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes, you fighting for recognition. I'm fighting just
I just had that thought. Like, if I was a gangbanger, I don't want no gangbanging funeral. If you're a Crip, don't wear blue. Hell nah. You know what people gonna say? Oh, he was a gangbanger. Hell nah. Don't wear red. Nah, man. Treat me like a human being. Treat me like a human being, man. Wear a suit. You know, I drive by Angela's funeral home every day. That's why. Make it personal, because the devil is a lie. And hey, love y'all, man. If you having a gangbanger funeral, like think about it. How can you get to heaven? Because heaven is based off your heart and your deeds. Nah, man, I don't want to be remembered for gangbang. I want to be remembered for serving my community. You know what I mean? But you know, it is what it is, man. Love y'all, man. We'll talk about that tomorrow. You know, barbershop conversation, man. I love y'all, man. Click the link, buy the movie. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys in advance, man. Tell a friend. Thank you, Chante. I appreciate you coming in. Kyle, appreciate you crying again. Appreciate it. No, it's not based off good deeds, but you got to love God. God is love, right? You got to accept God, put him in your heart, which will in turn, you will do good deeds. You will be a good person, right? That's the, anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Remind us, talk about that tomorrow. Love y'all, man.